What if I told you that one of the greatest stories in Earth's history is a mystery? It's a tale of evolution, a grand experiment that produced some of the most incredible animals ever to live. We are, of course, talking about the dinosaurs. These were not mythical beasts or dragons from fantasy tales. They were real, living, breathing animals that dominated our planet for an almost unimaginable length of time. But how did it all begin? How did these titans first arise from the shadows to build an empire that would last for over 150 million years? This is the ultimate evolutionary puzzle, a question that drives paleontologists to dig in the dirt, searching for clues. The story doesn't start with giants like Tyrannosaurus rex or the long-necked Brachiosaurus. It begins much, much earlier in a world that would seem alien to us today. The planet was recovering from the most devastating mass extinction it had ever known, the Permian-Triassic extinction event. So, when did these underdogs finally become true dinosaurs? The evidence points to a time around 230 million years ago in what is now South America. This is where we find the oldest, most definitive dinosaur fossils. Fossils are our time machines, the only direct evidence we have of these ancient worlds. Bones from Argentina like those of Eoraptor tell a remarkable story. Herrerasaurus tells another. These weren't creatures the size of a bus. Eoraptor, dawn plunderer, about the size of a German shepherd. A sleek, two-legged predator with sharp teeth. What was it about dinosaurs that allowed them to succeed where others failed? It wasn't just one thing, but a whole suite of anatomical innovations, a biological toolkit that gave them an edge. We've already mentioned their upright posture, which was perhaps the most important tool in the box. This shift in leg orientation transformed them from waddling reptiles into energetic, dynamic animals. It became the foundation of their empire. It allowed them to support massive weight, leading to giants. It also gave them speed and agility to become formidable hunters, and to be effective escape artists. Another key feature was breathing. Dinosaurs evolved a remarkably efficient respiratory system, like modern birds. They had air sacs connected to their lungs, allowing a one-way flow of oxygen-rich air that let them extract much more oxygen per breath. That breathing fueled high-energy lifestyles, letting them run, fight. Their bones tell a story of innovation. Many, especially large species, had hollow bones, not a weakness but clever engineering. Once dinosaurs took over at the start of the Jurassic period, which was, wow, around 200 million years ago, their evolution just exploded. This is really when they went from being a relatively small group of similar-looking animals to, honestly, an astonishingly diverse family. They split into two major branches, distinguished by the structure of their hips, the Saurischians, or lizard-hipped, and the Ornithischians, the bird-hipped. From these two lineages came every dinosaur we know and love, from the tiny to the absolutely titanic. It was the beginning of a long and spectacular reign, where evolution ran wild and produced an incredible variety of forms. The Saurischians, for example, gave rise to two iconic groups. First were the theropods, the two-legged carnivores. This group included everything from the chicken-sized Compsognathus to the bus-sized Tyrannosaurus rex. The other Saurischian line produced the sauropods, those gentle, long-necked giants. These were the largest land animals of all time. The great mystery of dinosaur evolution doesn't end 66 million years ago with a fiery asteroid. In fact, it may not have ended at all. One of the most exciting scientific discoveries of the past few decades is the overwhelming evidence that one group of dinosaurs survived the extinction. We see them every day, in our backyards, in our cities, and well, even on our dinner plates. We call them birds. This idea isn't exactly new. It was first proposed way back in the 19th century. But it's only recently, with a flood of spectacular fossil finds from China, that the idea has become scientific consensus. The evidence is now undeniable. Birds are living, breathing dinosaurs. These incredible fossils, many preserving not just bones but also feathers, show us the transition in stunning detail. We can see small, meat-eating theropod dinosaurs closely related to Velociraptor covered in feathers. At first, these feathers were simple, hair-like filaments, probably used for insulation to keep their warm-blooded bodies warm. Over millions of years, these simple structures evolved into the complex, aerodynamic feathers we see on modern birds. Archaeopteryx, Anchiornis, feathered wings, claws on their hands, a mouth full of sharp teeth. A perfect blend of bird and dinosaur features. The connections go far beyond feathers. Birds share hundreds of anatomical features with their theropod ancestors. They have hollow bones, just like the giant carnivores, They have a similar highly efficient breathing system with air sacs. They even share nesting behaviors. We've found fossils of dinosaurs like oviraptor sitting on their nests, brooding their eggs in the same posture as a modern bird. When you look at a turkey or an ostrich, you're actually looking at the gait, the posture, and the anatomy of a dinosaur. The link is so strong that most paleontologists now classify birds as a branch of the dinosaur family tree, specifically as Maniraptor and theropods. So, while the non-avian dinosaurs were wiped out by the asteroid impact, their legacy lives on. The evolution of flight was their escape ticket. While their giant cousins perished, small feathered dinosaurs that could fly were able to survive the devastation, finding food and shelter where others could not. They went on to diversify into the 10,000+ species of birds we know today. The dinosaur story is not just one of extinction, but also one of incredible survival and transformation. It's a reminder that evolution is always at work, and that even the mightiest rulers can give way to small, feathered successors who still fill our skies today. The age of dinosaurs never truly ended.